Greetings pimps. Today we have a video about the glory days of gaming back when gamers were gamers. And why they shall never return. At least to the capacity they once were. This is not to say games are worse today. While they are in some facets, they are also better in some ways. Back before so many people accepted paid DLC and now $70 games as the norm, we had the pinnacle of gaming, known as the arena shooter. Now these still exist in some capacity today, however they are no longer by the old guard, those of us who still enjoy watching or playing a game of Quake even though the newest iteration isn't anywhere as good as past ones. Unfortunately, as all things gaming was corrupted by both money and stupidity. Money is obvious. Not only do studios big and small try to squeeze every last penny from their mid-products, but streamers and content creators slurp it all up. And even give free attention to trash devs constantly. Back in the day you bought a game because it looked fun to you, not because some stringy-haired shrimp that's probably a pedo on the internet is playing it. This has led us down a path of sorrow where good games no longer prosper, but whatever games that can garner the most views do. People complain about how bad Call of Duty is now. Yet we'll tune in to watch streamers play it and YouTubers complain about it instead of giving no attention to that which should cease. Streamers are the largest proliferator of such things, as they will play anything for a paycheck. Even if they make a video hating on a game that's still free. Attention. Back in the day studios had to make good games or it wouldn't sell or get attention. Now days you can put out crap like Forspoken and every huge streamer is playing your game and making videos about it, and yet these same people wonder why gaming is in its current state. Gaming has always had this issue, but it's much more problematic now due to so-called normies overtaking the industry and streaming and content production. Back then, if someone was gaming or talking about it, you knew they were a gamer, not some monotone autistic pedo trying to make money talking about the next drama event. Back in the day, real skill gaps existed in games, specifically arena shooters and platformers. Now you have people that genuinely believe games like Apex Legends, Warzone and Fortnite are skillful. Of course you still have games that have similar skill gaps to games from the days of old such as Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six Siege, but those are insanely rare in these modern times, albeit proof that good games do sneak into the mainstream every now and again. This hasn't even touched the plague of single-player games that flood the market with trivial Skinner box-level gameplay, yet they get attention from all the big creators and heck they might even slurp a $70 remake. Funnily enough, the single-player space is so awful a mediocre game like Elden Ring is seen as God's next gift to humanity. This isn't saying it's a bad game, just that the control you have over your character is very basic. I'd even consider it trash, and not to mention Neo 2 slams it into the dirt. Now humanity's greed is not the only thing that's caused these bad things. In fact, the main culprit is the stupidity of normies. When's the last time a large streamer or creator played a game and they end up not enjoying it, so they turn it off and never speak of it again? Never. Exactly. Normies, and more specifically autistic normies, have to ramble on about bad thing, giving it not only free attention but attempting to monetize such complaining. You see, bad games and devs have a relationship with all these creators whether they like it or not, just as good ones do. To these normies it doesn't ever matter if a game is good, they'll buy it, complain about it and give it free attention through content. And thus the cycle of bad game to normies continues. These dopamine addicts desire attention over money in most instances as well. Sure, sometimes a studio may shut down, but even that is free attention. None of these bozos can resist. Just keep spewing video after video after video, stream after stream after stream, feeding the downfall of the pinnacle of gaming. No peak lasts forever, but you shouldn't force the valley of something you claim you want to get better. Sure, you can claim gaming sucks now and that devs don't listen. Just remember, you're the reason this happened in the first place. Most you normies would never admit it or even understand it, though perhaps you even think you're not a normie. In fact, if you even made it to this point in the rant with your minuscule attention span, you likely will ignore this video and continue watching your complainer drivel. Wow, Call of Duty is so trash, bro. Let me go watch Warzone and complain in the chat whenever the streamer does to feel like I fit in. Whoa, such and such put out a new video complaining about a game, dev better go watch it. If you ever want to see an autistic meltdown, ask a streamer why they play a game they unironically call trash. Their answer will usually be money or viewers or some other sort of dopamine related reason. Same goes for if you ask a content creator why they give free attention to trash games when they should just let them rot in obscurity. If you know someone is going to end up punching people if you talk to them, you simply shouldn't talk to them, not talk to them and hope no one gets hit because you warned people he would hit people if you talk to him. I'm sure this comparison flew over the heads of you low IQ normies, but I digress and won't explain it. Can we ever return to the glory days of gaming? Not as a whole, but in far off corners, yes. Gaming isn't dying as some like to claim. In fact, games have been coming and going since the start. Especially so-called live service games, IOL. These people that claim live service games are dying don't realize how many MMORPGs have come and gone over the years. They're not meant to or expected to last forever. Funnily enough, the same people who claim they're dying are the same attempting to kill them by giving the terrible ones attention. Clueless drones leading themselves to their own demise. Now that all the normies have clearly exited the video and subconsciously told themselves the video wasn't talking about them. Personally, let's talk about the glory days. The time when gamers were gamers and your friends having a LAN party was the talk of the town, lol, back before the industry was flooded with normies and little Gamble trying to get a nickel for his grandma. During the days of dial-up internet and the times your mom booted you offline by making a random phone call to her degenerate friends. Back when most games took more skill than even the most skill-intensive games today. No hand-holding or long tutorials or one-button spam like in Dark Souls games people swear are difficult. No aim, assist or fraction of a millisecond kill times to make bad players feel welcome. No you get good or go wait for Call of Duty to hold your hand. Can't track your opponent, you get destroyed. No, abusing the luck of the draw on randomized weapons and goofy powers and gadgets like in trash such as Apex, Fortnite or Warzone. You either know the gun spawns and power-up timers or get yo cheeks ran through, lol. Not to mention back then games were so good maps didn't even need to be awesome. But they were anyway. Well pimps, I do believe this is about the end of another Schizo rant. All the streamers and YouTubers you watch ruined gaming and so did you. But it's not too late to stop giving bad devs and games attention. Sure, streamers won't cease abusing it for money and to feed their dopamine addiction, but if you look closely you'll see there's always good games in all genres. You just have to be willing to look for them yourself and not rely on autistic pedos on the internet to tell you about them. Think a little. It's rarer than normies would have you believe. Anyways pimps, I hope y'all enjoyed. We out.